Hey there, I am one of the developers from Aurora Devs, and I'm very excited to show you our new plugin for Unreal 5, Ultimate Gameplay Camera. In this continuation video, we will see how to create camera animations. For now, you do not need to follow along, as the first method I am about to show you is not correct. I will now try to recreate the camera animation I have just shown you. If we right-click in the content browser, we create a new camera animation sequence here under Cinematics. You'll notice that the camera is spawned at the world origin 0. You should always make the animations while considering your player character to be at the world origin 0 as well, because the animation is relative to your player. Here I will keyframe the first position to 0. I will try to anticipate the character's animation and position the camera accordingly and keyframe the transform. You can already see what is wrong with this approach, as we have to blindly animate the camera, which is fine only when you don't need to sync it with a player animation. One thing to take into consideration is that the ease out of the camera starts before the animation ends, which means if your ease out is set to 1 second, it will start 1 second before your animation end. Now that we have a sort of acceptable looking animation, we trim it so that it doesn't play for too long. Let's try it out. As you can see, it is totally off. If only we could add the player's animation in the sequencer so we could correctly preview the camera. Unfortunately, Unreal's camera animation sequencer is very limited, but thankfully, we can use the level sequencer instead for the keyframing. Now you can start following along with the tutorial if you want. Right-click in the content browser and create a level sequence under Cinematics. Create a camera cut and a camera that goes with it. Set the aperture to 14, otherwise the camera is too zoomed in. Then reset the camera's position and rotation to 0 and stop piloting it so it doesn't move. Don't keyframe this yet. Like we have said before, 0 is the player character's position. You want your camera to start further behind the character, simulating the real gameplay camera. If you want, you can go as far as putting the real values of the gameplay camera. In the camera data asset, you can see that our arm length is 250, so let's put minus 250 in the x-axis to pull the camera back. The target offset is 58 and the capsule half height is 90. So let's put 90 plus 58 in the z-axis. In reality, you don't need to be accurate, we're just trying to make the animation seamless. Now let's add our character animation so we can preview it while keyframing the camera animation. Just simply drag and drop the character animation sequence or montage. Reset its position to 0 and rotation to 0 with the exception of the yaw, which should be minus 90. Now with the character selected, click on Track, Actor to Sequencer, and select the animation. Make sure to delete the control rate and go out of animation mode back to selection mode. Then add the animation back in the sequencer. The setup is done now. Let's not forget to put the first keyframe, then let's animate the camera. You can click on the small camera icon to preview the camera in the viewport. Like we've said before, the ease on duration starts before the animation ends, so I will leave 15 to 60 or so frames at the end before trimming the animation. Trimming the animation is important, otherwise it'll run for too long. Once you are satisfied with the animation, right-click the camera's transform track and select Copy. Open the camera animation sequence again. Delete any existing transform tracks and paste the one we copied from the level sequencer. Make sure to trim this camera animation correctly as well, since that's not copied over. Now you can safely delete the character mesh from the map and the level sequencer. That looks nicer, but the ease out is a bit too long. Much better. Congratulations on your first camera animation. One more thing to note is that you can select different reset types for each camera animation, depending on whether you want the camera to continue from it ended, go back to where it started, or reset to the back of the character. Do check out the demo project and the documentation in the links below as we go in much further detail about each feature. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop by the Discord server, where you can interact with us and the community and get asset-specific support by getting verified. You can also email us at support@auroradebs.eu or post questions on the Marketplace product page.